everybody. Well, I say everybody. I think there's 3 or 4 in. Thanks for coming along, and we're about to start a brand new season. Good evening, Aaron. How are you doing, my friend? And hopefully everybody can hear everything, and hopefully you can see me okay, and the picture's okay. I'm going to check my preferences because we've been messing about with this last week and we are actually all set to go. Good evening, Dean. How are you doing? And guys, if you are in the chat, good evening, Blob. Nice to see you. You are top of the Fantasy Premier League, I believe, and I think you've had a massive points haul this week. I believe, was it you got 132? Unbelievable points haul this week. 117. Okay. Yeah, so that puts... Yeah, welcome, Dean. We are currently doing this Journeyman save. Let me fill everybody in. There's a couple of newbies here. We started this journey in Indonesia with Persib. We went to Japan where we won the Asian... the equivalent of the Champions League with Hiroshima. We then went to South Africa, and we joined Sundowns, where we won the African Champions League there quite easily. And then we went off to Brazil, where we were with Coritiba, and it took us 3 seasons or more, maybe a little bit more at Coritiba, 3 or 4 seasons before we finally won the Libertadores there. We have one more trophy that we have to win, and that is the Champions League. And we are here at Newcastle trying to win the Champions League. We didn't have the greatest of seasons last season. We identified we needed to strengthen the squad, and I think we have strengthened the squad. This is not my transfer window. This belongs to Andy Kitch, who did the transfer window. It was touch and go between his and mine, but I decided to give his a chance. And it's going to be a tough start because one of the problems that we've got is that we haven't played too many games during pre-season. Andy thought that the assistant was going to be arranging friendlies. I hadn't set it up that way. I always arrange my own friendlies. So unfortunately then we went and lost the Community Shield on penalties to Manchester City. Not the greatest of starts, but I've had a friendly to get the reserves up to speed. We beat Dundee by 4-1. Not the most impressive performance by the reserves, but we got the result. And more importantly, they got some playing time. We're playing with this 4-2-2. It's very narrow. And we were playing with the 3 at the back last year. One of the big problems is at central defence. We are a little bit short. Jesus Aber, who I brought in last season, brilliant player. He's still going to be out for a couple of weeks. And Stan is unregistered. I can't register him. I've tried so many different ways. He is hopefully going to be sold. So that only leaves us with 3 central defenders. One of those, Yoro, who's just come in, I want to use him as a DM. And Botman hopefully can play as a DM as well. That solves the little problem that we have there. So I have to bring in a central defender. Now with that in mind, during my transfer window, I did identify this geezer who's been identified in this transfer window, Antonio Silva. And he's quite cheap, 36 to 44 million. If we can sell Stan plus 1 or 2 others, Moani is listed, then we could probably bring him in. And that'll be a good signing at centre-back. Very, very good centre-back. And will be good to bring him in. And I have made a bid for this young lad, 20-year-old Brazilian who's from Corinthians, as an attacking mid. Give us more options up top, and he is, for me, he's a very, very good attacking midfielder, and hopefully he'll fit in and do a nice job for us as well. He's not the best of finishers, but he has a decent long shot, and for 20 years old, this boy has got a future in front of him. And I've made a bid for him, and hopefully we will bring him in as well. So 2 targets I've identified. The rest of the squad looks very decent. One of the problems that we had was at wing back, but some good players have been brought in, including Peterson, who is an exceptional wing back, 22 years old, and soon as he's up to speed, he will be probably first choice. For the moment, we're going to play Frimpong in the first game. I'm trying to keep as many players in the team that are familiar with each other, because these guys are not familiar with each other. Although the familiarity is good, we were training this way last year, these guys are not familiar with each other. And so Florian Wirtz, who's taken a knock, he's not fit, he's on the bench. Suon is a very decent striker. He's a young boy again, and needs to play a bit more this year. His attributes are very, very good. Good technical ability. And we've also got Mora, who is a good player. So he will hopefully come in and shore up. We'll have a good attacking. Kumalo can go up top. Florian Wirtz can go up top. So we've got a good attack. And hopefully it's going to be a good season. I'm going to give a special shout out to Andy Taylor, who just texted me earlier. He always texts me if he can't make the stream. He's just texted me to say he's going to be a bit late because his brother-in-law is over, and he is a channel member, and he submitted a transfer window last transfer window. It was an extremely wild attacking system with 5 up top, and he has played it through, and he did win the title. So all bodes well for this season coming up. We should be beating Everton. We are away, so I'm only going in a positive mentality. I think we will play positively against the big teams and when we're away, and we'll play attacking against the littler teams, the teams we should be beating when we are at home. And in case things go wrong, I have got a low block tactic, which I'll get to if things go wrong. So I don't know. I have a funny feeling that this might work against us in the early games because we just simply haven't played enough games pre-season. They're not familiar with each other. We are favourites, so let's go and win this game. I would have preferred Wirtz to be available, but it's not worth risking him. We do have 1 or 2 injury problems. It's just not worth risking Wirtz. I'm just going to go to my assistant and just get him to change his mind a little bit. He didn't change his mind too much. And hopefully we'll go and win this opening game of the season against Everton. We should be winning this. It's just whether or not the team know each other well enough. And hopefully they do. They've had 4 games together now. So hopefully they're starting to understand how each other play. Gray obviously is a great forward. He's been caught offside, and we're very keen to see what he can do. But at the moment, it's not looking good. I'd like to see more possession, if possible. We are playing with a shorter passing, I think. That's how I've set it up, and we are playing with a higher tempo. And there's a chance, and Frimpong has scored. Get in. We are ahead. And it's come from Frimpong. Now, I was going to play Peterson. I thought, no, let's not play Peterson at this point. Let's play the boys who played last year. And it's paid off. Frimpong came in instead of Peterson, and he's got us off the mark. It's 1-0, and we're up and running. Good evening, Mercury. I hope you're doing well there, mate. Got lucky in the FPL, Blob saying. Luck on... I think it's all luck, isn't it? I've had to play my wild card today, Blob, because I've just got 6 players One injured, Quanza's not playing, Barco is on loan now. I've got 3 midfielders who don't start, so I've had to play my wild card today. I think my mistake was Haaland plus Trent plus Saka left me very weak in midfield, and I've paid the price for that. But looking at my initial go at the wild card, it looks okay. But Gray looks like he's miles offside there, and probably is going to be flagged, and was flagged. So, well done to Blob for going top with an amazing 117 this week. Luck or not, all FPL is luck. Your players could have absolutely fabulous games, or they could absolutely be dreadful. And well done to you. And we have given Everton a goal, possibly one of the weakest teams in the league. And I did suspect we were going to have a poor start to the season, and it's not been great. It's not looking very good. And defensively, we look all over the place, set piece wise at least. And Everton have actually taken the game to us as well. They've not been sitting back and cowering. And again, poor pass from Kamalo. I think we're in trouble. And midfield wise, we should be fine. Defensively, we should be fine, because these boys have played together for a season. But the front 4 just don't know each other at all. That's where the big problem is, I think. And Everton are certainly giving us a game. I want to have a quick look at the possession stats. And Everton have got 74% of the possession, which is a bit of a worry. And with that in mind, I'm going to reduce the tempo a little bit, because it may be that the passing is just extremely erratic. But come on, boys, come on. Let's score some goals. There's a chance that we've got another one. Kamalo has put it in. Kamalo, for those of you who are new, he has been with me since, I presume that's given, is it? Yeah. He's been with me since Sundowns. He was 15, I think, when he got his debut for Sundowns in South Africa. When I moved to Brazil, I took him to Brazil with me. He's developed into a very good player in Brazil, and he's now got his chance in the Premier League. We brought him to Newcastle from Coritiba, and he has to have a good season. He didn't have a particularly good season last year. This year, with all the players who are coming in, he has to play well, or he might be on the transfer list next summer. So he's got himself off to a good start, and we need to do a little bit better in possession than we're doing. But if we score more goals than the opposition, which is Andy Taylor's philosophy, he's Kevin Keegan style, then we'll win matches. It's whether or not we're going to score goals. So far, we're doing all right. 2 goals in 15 minutes. Nice pass into the box. It's in the box again. It's chaos in the box. And we have won that ball at the back. We seem to have settled down, I think, a little bit. Everton came at us, and we have settled down now. This boy, Arwell Davis, Welsh boy, lovely boy, he is a very good wing-back who's just come in this year. The only one of the back 4 who hasn't played, and so he's a very good signing. He's a very good wing-back. And hopefully we're going to score a ton of goals here against Everton. And there's another one, and Kamalo's got his second. And Kamalo must know that he's got to have a season this year. And he's got his second. We're now 3-1 up. I think that's probably 3 points in the bag. Probably speaking way too prematurely there. But if Kamalo keeps this up, he's going to bag a hatful. And maybe Everton, if I was the Everton manager, I'd be thinking of putting someone on him, keeping him quiet. Someone big, aggressive, because he's only small. And They haven't looked after him. Probably they don't see him as our strongest link. Possibly saw him as someone who's not really that dangerous, but he has shown them what he can do. And as I said, he didn't have a great season last year, so they probably didn't even bother with him, and it's cost them. And Joe Neves, what a chance! And am I expecting to lose every one of your wing backs? Oh yeah, FM always injures my wing backs. I've had this problem since FM22, I think, when I noticed that if I've got good cover at wing back, the game just destroys my wing backs. So I'm expecting that we're going to get lots of injuries at wing back. So I always like to have good cover at wing back. 4 is definitely not enough. 5 is probably not enough. I like to have 6 good wing backs, so the game can go ahead and injure them, and it doesn't really worry me then. As long as I've got one who can play on both sides, then it doesn't really bother me. Because it's not going to injure them all. It's going to leave you a couple of wing backs. But if you've got 3 and one can play on both sides, that's okay. And here come Everton again, and they've made it 3-2. And defensively, we do look poor. And I think one of the problems that I can see is they are getting a ton of space between our midfield. And so with that in mind, I'm not going to pull players back. I'm going to push the line up a little bit and try to compress that space that they're getting. You can see they have 3-2 in that space, and we need to close that space down a little bit. So hopefully that'll solve that problem. But 3-1 up at the moment. Luckily that was disallowed. Come on, Kamalo, let's get your hat-trick. Let's get you off to a great start. The other one who came in with Kamalo is Jesus Abba. He came from Coritiba with me as well. He's a brilliant centre-back. And he's still only 20. Might be 21 now this season. But he is an absolutely exceptional centre-back. The good news for me is we've had 4 shots and 4 on target. That's a great ratio, especially for teams of mine. So Kamalo has another shot. He's causing mayhem in there. And it's going to be a corner. Jesus Abba still going to be injured for another couple of weeks. Good evening, Callum. How are you doing? Good to see you. And as you can see, Callum, we are 3-1 up in our opening game against Everton. 20 minutes or so have gone. Defensively, I've been a bit concerned, but we're scoring goals. And if we outscore them, until these boys are familiar with each other, they are taking a lot of long shots, aren't they? This is quite interesting. I'm with that in mind, I'm just going to have a look. Ghana is the initial problem that I have. So we'll try to tight mark Ghana. And we'll turn him onto his left foot. He's creating the opportunities. And the other problem, I want to have a look at who is taking the shots. And Dalton Denham is the boy. So possibly need to do something about Dalton Denham. He is probably... No, he's not that pacey. So what I think I'm going to do is close him down. And then we are going to hard tackle him because he's not very brave. So I think we'll close that boy down. He's having a lot of shots. And with that in mind, Dalton Denham, I think he's playing on the left, isn't he? Is he playing on the left or on the right? I think he's playing on the left. No, he's playing on the right. And that means that I'm going to ask Frimpong not to close down less. But I am going to ask my left wing back to close down less. So Everton are giving us a game, but hopefully we're sorting it out. One of the problems that we might have, because they are taking these long shots, is we're not getting enough bodies behind the ball. Given this tactic, there's not much I can do about that unless I change the tactic and move one of the attacking mids into central midfield. I can't get more bodies behind the ball. But at the moment we are winning, and we don't need to be panicking as yet. So, in terms of our own play, Kumalo is the outstanding player. So possibly need to try and get the ball to the attacking mids, which could mean playing up through the middle. So let's focus our play up through the middle and try to get these attacking mids, who are playing really well, both of them, on the ball more. Hey Silver Ali, how you doing? Good to see you. Getting to know, I'm getting lots of regulars coming in now, which is really good. And I'm getting to know you guys, and it's good to see you again. And I do like doing live streams. It's nice to have these chats. And hopefully though, we're going to make a winning start. We're going to play Manchester City again, but who is that? Valesso this time. We're going to play Manchester City again, but I don't go into this game with trepidation this season. I think that we should be beating Manchester City, and there's no reason why we shouldn't. So the big teams, I'm not actually going in and thinking, oh, we've got to be more defensive. We've got a much better team this year, and once they've gelled... Go on, Kamalo. Corner ref. I did, Callum. In fact, I'm actually thinking of taking Isaac out of my fantasy team. I can't find anyone to replace him with at the moment, but they look terrible. They didn't look like they had any energy, the passion about them. I thought that Jacob Murphy on the right was terrible. I couldn't find him for half of the game. I was wondering where he was gone. Livramento was playing most of the game in his position. I couldn't find Jacob Murphy when I was watching the game. They didn't look very good, Newcastle. So, yeah, I think they're going to struggle. And they look short of depth as well. Which is okay, because they're not in Europe. Chance! Oh, Valesso, you should have scored that for sure. That should be 4-1. Even I would have scored that one. Come on. We seem to have put their most dangerous players to sleep. Hopefully. Because they haven't moved on in terms of the stats that they have since we made those changes. So hopefully we've put them to sleep. I think we've made good decisions. Harvey Barnes, when he came on, picking out the pass was good, I agree with you. But Newcastle looked slovenly, they looked lazy. They just didn't look like they were on the game. And maybe that they will get better. Who knows? But for me, they didn't look particularly great. Let's just check their fitness. We're actually doing really well in terms of fitness. The gegenpress isn't really affecting them. Gray, as usual, with a forward of his caliber coming in, is having a poor game. I expect this with FM. It happened with Florian Wirtz. He had an awful season. And now we've got this absolute worldie of a player come in and he's got off to an absolute howler of a start. I expect this, but hopefully that's going to end soon and that he will score some goals at some point. I'm reluctant to tell him to buck his ideas up at the moment. It's his first game, be fair. But a player of his quality should be playing better than that. And he hopefully will. I'll have a look at him and alter his instructions a little bit. Little Kamalo's having an absolute gem of a game. He's in space again. Go on, son. Oh, unlucky, but he gets a corner. Kamalo is having an absolute gem. He's on a 9.3. What a way to start the season. He's like my little boy. He's like my son, Kamalo. And if I could adopt an FM player, it would be Kamalo. I've known him since he was 15 years old. And he was in the first team at 15 years old. And he's just become a very, very good player. We should be burying Everton at this point. It's very possible Mercury. But I'm a Man United fan, and I think they were in the bar with them as well, wherever that bar was. I think that they were having a party with the Man United team as well. United looked all over the place, very much the same as last year. Absolutely no clue what they're doing, and deservedly, in my book, Man United got beaten. I've seen a lot of Man United fans furious with it, but what did they expect? The manager doesn't know what he's doing, and I couldn't work out when I was watching it yesterday. What is he trying to do? I couldn't work it out. If we're going to keep him, then we're going to have to expect that. We'll probably do okay against Liverpool. It won't be a huge win for Liverpool. We'll probably lose, but we'll probably do okay for a while. But we're going to have a dreadful season again. And especially as we are playing in the Europa League, there's tons of games. There's not enough depth. Certainly not enough good players. And the manager's making some dreadful decisions. Substitutions are not the manager's forte with Man United. Oh, Canate that time. Have I got this? Let's work it into the box now. I know I want to give these players an element of freedom, but they're not. They're somehow not getting... They're taking a lot of long shots now, and I want them to calm down a little bit. And got one or two tired players. We need to think about making some changes. I need to shout at these boys. I think I need to tell them to focus. This game is not won. And I'll tell them, I'm just going to tell them to focus. It's not won, this game. And they should know that. There's a lot of complacency, I think. No, that's composed. Everton really, since we made the changes, haven't really looked like they're doing anything. I think we've stopped them from attacking in the way that they wanted to attack. We just need to make sure now that we hold on to this game. Nicely done. And that right winger, since we're closing him down, he's not been an issue at all. So well done to the boys. Guehi again is having a poor game. He is, for me, he's a good defender in FM, but he does have these poor games. João Neves is having a poor game. There's no reason for Neves to be having a poor game. And Gray is now on a 6.3. We're going to have to get him off. He should be doing better than that, even though he's playing for the first time. And there it is. Canute has made it 4-1. And hopefully that is enough now. Evening, Tommy. Evening, Andy. I was just talking about you earlier. Has your brother-in-law, he's gone, has he? Hope you had a good time, mate. And we are having a good time here. We are 4-1 up now. 2 for Kamalo, 1 for Kanate, and 1 for Frimpong. I need to go and make some changes here. Let's go and make a couple of changes. Suwon can come on for Gray. He has to have more game time. And wing backs, we're going to bring on Peterson for Frimpong. Just freshen it up on the flanks, where he's improving, but not by much. Neves, I'm going to bring on Landerson for Neves. Kumalo is tiring, but I don't want to take him off now. He's on a hat-trick. And Valesso is having a great game as well. Squehi, really. I think I will change our Will Davis. I like to freshen up, but because they have a lot of running to do. So I like to freshen them up, as well as the midfield. And 4-1, that should be game over now. And we've given a message to the teams in the Premier League. We're a better team this year. No, in fact, if I'd have fixed it, Andy, I would not have given Blob 117 points. He has gone top now, and he's had a brilliant game week, Blob. He calls it luck, but I think it's a brilliant game week, and so he's top of the league now. I'm only in second now, Andy. I had an absolute disaster of a day. I had 2 Newcastle players, unfortunately, and they didn't play really well. In fact, they were lucky against Bournemouth. Evan Nielsen might be a good player for Bournemouth. He looked very sharp, and he looked a good pressing forward to me. He likes to get... He's quite aggressive. He likes to get in the defender's face. And I think he's... he could be a very, very good player, Evan Nielsen. Could well be a very good player. Got him on my FPL watch list. For Bournemouth, have really good run of games in game week 11, from game week 11 on. So if he's settled in, scoring goals, he'll be in my FPL team. And Bournemouth were very, very unlucky, I thought. They should have beaten them. But it's been a good Premier League weekend. I've, apart from for me, because I've had to play my wild card now, but I've enjoyed the games this weekend. You were at the Saints game, were you? Well, what do you think, Tommy? Any positives that you saw from the Southampton game? What do you think, Tommy? I wouldn't immediately say Southampton are going to be relegated. I think that there's more to them than that. Valesso is tired, so Mora can come on for Valesso. Kamalo's on his last legs, so Florian Wirtz. Oh, we can't make any more. But Kamalo probably won't start the next game. Wirtz will start the next game. So Kamalo can run himself. But positives, nobody got sent off. Yep, that's a positive. He clicked the stay on your feet button. Are you a Southampton fan then? I'm just trying to think the Southampton game. I'm just going to have a look at what happened in the Southampton game. Oh, they lost to Forest. Lost to Forest. I wouldn't immediately think that Southampton are going down, or any of the other two that I've looked at. Leicester actually look particularly good to me. They will do okay once they get their striker problem sorted out. They'll do okay. But Vardy, I don't know how old he is at the moment. Is he 38 now? He's very aggressive still for 38 years old. Leicester 3, Leeds 3. But all that matters now is we are 4-1 up against Everton. Hopefully can make it 5 before the end of the game. I do like it, though, when teams refuse to change the style of play when they go up to the Prem. It's a gamble. It's a huge gamble. But it's because they believe in themselves. They back themselves. And why shouldn't they? Not all teams are Manchester City and Liverpool and Arsenal. And you always have a chance. Leicester have shown that you have a chance against teams. Because they're not all brilliant teams. So I wouldn't write them off. I wouldn't write anyone off as yet. Way too early. I actually like the way Liverpool are playing. Watching that Liverpool game, I like the way they're playing. Go on, Soon. Where you going? Where you going, boy? He's going to the corner flag. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. I'm not quite sure what he thought he knew what he was doing there, but not to worry, because it's in the last few minutes. And we have beaten them. We've beaten them by 4-1. Well done, lads. Good win for us. And we're off to a good start. We have to play City next. Manchester City beat Bournemouth 2-0. So we have to play City. That's not going to be easy. And they have accepted the off. So we'll ask Peterson, who obviously knows him. Slightly positive about it. Peterson talks to Carloca. He's confirmed he's incredibly interested. Kamalo. That's my boy. It's about time he started playing. He had a poor season last year. So now we've got to do the... I think we've got plenty of transfer budget. Well, we're going to go... We've got to sell some players. Otherwise, he's not going to be coming in. We have to sell some players. I really would like to get him in. For 16 mil... He's a very, very good player. Oh, I think I've got my... I think my assistant, the director of football, is dealing with the contracts. That's why we've gone above 160k a week. That's why we've gone above slightly in the... 788, 1,000 over. I probably, if I'd done it myself, could have kept it under, but 1,000 over, I'm not going to really worry about that when it comes to Newcastle. Yeah, Man United, Liverpool. I don't know whether I want to watch it, Andy. I don't really know if I can take it. Oh boy. It's going to be... Oh boy, it's going to be a tough one. Got to remain optimistic, though. I don't know what would make me feel optimistic. I like the way Liverpool are playing. I think that it looks to me like there's a different role for Trent. He's playing a little bit wider, which is giving Salah the license to move inside. He can go anywhere he wants, Salah. So I kind of like what they're doing. Who is Midvid? Oh, he's that fullback that everybody signed in their transfer window. Liam Watkins. Who is he? He's agreed to go somewhere else. Has all this affected the money? Yeah, we're all right now. Carapito has been sold, and he has been sold for how much? A lot of money. Huh? Hang on, what's that? 36,000 will be added to the... What's he done here? Carapito. He's accepted an offer for 47 point... For Carapito? He must have gone down in transfer value then. But he never fitted anyway. We'll let that run. I want to get rid of him. It's the salary. So Milan have signed him at a bargain price. Not exactly what I wanted. I needed to make some money. But my director of football, I've put him in charge of that, and that's what he's done. The board are going to be furious about that, I think. We still have 18 million. He was worth about 40 million. Because how come? So now we've got 300,000 in the wage budget and 18 million. I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Let's go to the transfer history. Carapito. See, it says 47.5k. How have we got millions in the bank now? That's got me. But as I've said, I don't have time to interfere with the director of football. It doesn't look like a loan move. Hi, Kyle. How are you doing? But that's not the kind of money that I want. I should have... I should have responsibility for finalizing all these. Yeah, finalizing player signings. Handle incoming offers for first team players. I have responsibility for that, so I don't know why the director of football has gone and done that. He should have asked me first. Interesting, because so he will be coming in. He didn't have any problems with the work permit in my transfer window, so hopefully he will be coming in. Botman, I don't want to sell him now. I haven't got enough centre-backs. If Botman goes, I've only got 3 centre-backs. Larsson happy to stay at the club. Which means I've got another problem. Larsson can do the defensive midfielder job, but I can't register him. Not unless Stan is sold. So let's go to registration. Carapito wasn't already registered. Landerson, yeah, he is registered. And Larsson is not registered. So I can't fit him in unless I drop one of these really good players. Ward-Prowse is there because he's trained in the nation. He's never going to play. So we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 6 players. So I'm going to have big problems here. Elijah Smith can probably come out. Doesn't need to be registered. Can I now register Larsson? No. So he's decided to stay at the club, but I can't register him, unfortunately. Interesting. It's going to be interesting. I've still got players that I want to offload. If I look at the squad, who do I want to offload? I certainly don't. I want to offload Stan. So he can go. That will free up one place. 38 million. I need enough money to bring Silva in, though. If he doesn't bring in the right amount of money to bring Silva in, then at centre-back I'm only going to have probably 3 centre-backs, which is not enough to do. How Hi, Kyle. How are you doing? Hi, Bartko. How are you doing? I just don't know what I'm going to do here because I don't. If Botman goes, I'm only going to have 2 centre backs for the whole season, which is going to be like really a problem. There's no way they can play 60 games without a break. So I definitely need some money. I'm not going to loan him, sorry. No way. No way am I loaning him. See, the director of football, he came to me and said, what about this loan move? He let me make the decision, but he didn't do that with Carapito. And I want him in. He's a very good player. But I'm really worried about my defence now. Especially if Botman goes, because I don't want Botman to go. I need to check that he's not listed. No, I'm going to take him. I can't take him off the transfer list for some reason. I don't know why. If he goes, I'm in real trouble. Real trouble. Oh, boy. Now, we are going to play attacking football against Manchester City. Thanks, Kyle. Very much appreciate your kind words. Thank you very much. I hope sometimes these help. I mean, I wouldn't expect they always help, but been playing the game for a little while. I kind of understand it now. Peterson, Guay. No, Frimpong played well. I'm going to keep Frimpong. And we're not bringing Carloca in straight away, no matter how good he is. So I'm going to stay with Frimpong. What did Davis do in the last game? How did he get on? 8.1. There's no need to change this team at the moment. Florian Wirtz can come in for Kamalo. It's probably the only change. Although Kamalo played better than Valesso. So let's give Kamalo another shot at it. Put Valesso on the bench. This isn't going to be easy to negotiate. He wants to swap over Guehi and Botman. Guehi is a good cover defender, yeah, so I will agree to that. Sellout expected. Press conferences, I'll go to them if you make them much more interesting in FM25, although I don't think that you will. Yeah. Oh, I would have said yes to that loan. We have no need for him to be here. But let's not interfere with the director of football. I don't have time. And I have to focus on the pitch, not the backroom stuff. Moreno, excellent. Well done, Sam. But he is one that possibly could go out. We brought him in. He can't get in the team at the moment, though. I've got to raise some money to get some more central defenders if Botman leaves. My young centre-back that I had, Guevara, he seems to have disappeared from the squad. Wonder if he's in the... Oh, he's there. I can promote him to the senior squad. I don't know why he's in. Don't know why he's in. He needs more playing time. If we're going to develop him as a player, he needs more playing time. So he's useful. Absolutely, Andy. Anybody who thinks doing this YouTube is nice and relaxing and happy doesn't know it can be the most frustrating thing. And the thing is about when you play this on your own, it doesn't matter. You can just shout and scream and curse and whatever to yourself. But when you're playing to an audience, it's a different kettle of fish completely. It's like you're on trial. It's really much tougher. We're going to play the same way. I'm going to play with a lower, higher line, if you know what I mean. Back to the higher line, not much higher, because of City's dribbling and pace. No, we're not making those changes. Too early to bring Carloka in. Peterson, we'll probably give him a game in the next one. See how he gets on, but not against City. We have to go with familiarity here. I think I'm happy with that lot. Oh, the other one who I need to get rid of is Muani. We can bring him 54 mil for Muani. So let's go to the transfer room. There's lots of teams interested. Let's bring the price down, and then let's offer him out and see what becomes of that. Bringing that money in will help me to bring in the centre back that I'm looking at. And I don't want to do things on the never with Newcastle. We don't need to, really. I'm going to say our home form is important to us. And let's give City a game. We gave them a game last time. And let's go out there and give them a game this time. I don't want to never press. And I do want to type mark Haaland. Gavi can be type marked, and Rodri. I was looking at Gavi, very, very good player, and was thinking very seriously about bringing Gavi in when I was doing the transfer window. Very, very good player, but I thought I had enough cover. Oh, what a chance. Go on, Canote. Oh, come on. You have to take your chances against City. Have to take your chances. We might not get too many today, boys. You've got to take them. Come on. Go on, Frimpong. Let's say we want to push City back. We're not going to be afraid of them this year. No low blocks for City this year. Unless we're holding on. There's another chance for Canote. Another chance. I think we probably are a slightly better team than City this year. So I'll be disappointed if we don't get points against City. Although I will need to be very careful. We're not too attacking against them. Offside, son, offside. It was a good strike, though. At the moment, we are outplaying them. Although we don't have the possession again. I wonder if I'm playing too frantically. If we need to slow it down a little bit, let's slow it down a little bit. Because often the tempo that is a problem with your passing. When you're playing at that speed, passes are going astray. Kamalo almost set him up. Florian Wirtz is having a good game, is he? That's quite surprising. Which side is he on, Florian Wirtz? He's on the right-hand side, isn't he? Which is interesting. The left back is playing well. And Florian Wirtz on the other side is also playing well. That's interesting, that. You'd expect him to be playing well on the same side. But that's quite interesting. What it possibly means is that I should get Arwell Davis further up, because his crossing will help find space for Florian Wirtz on this side. I don't know, something I'm thinking about. But at the moment, we are the better team. At the moment. No more fear of Manchester City. Haaland or no Haaland. So far, nobody's really bothering us. Their passing is quite good, though. Gavi's passing, tight marking him. He's only made 4 passes in the game, so tight marking him was the right decision. But I had scouted him. I was aware of his ability. So tight marking him seemed to be the right thing to do. An extremely good passer of the ball. And against Man City, I think I'm going to take that off. I don't want to be dribbling all the time. I'm going to be zipping the ball about a little bit. We're still not getting possession, which is really interesting. We're a good passing team now. Maybe that will change when we get more familiar with each other. I don't know. And maybe then I should be looking at the passing directness. Oh, let's take him out. City are coming back into it because... Well, that's good news, because they might stop doing that corner that they were doing in the Community Shield. If he's injured, that Foden Jeremy short corner they were doing might stop. Come on, Kanote, get on with it. That's an indication that they're not familiar with each other, because he didn't run after the pass, and so he wasn't expecting the pass. How is that not a foul? It's a good point, Andy. How is it not a foul? But we do have a corner. We're creating chances, just not taking them at the moment. And that's not great. Botman and Frimpong both need to ease off the tackles. First half yellow cards are not very nice things. But still, there's been no key passes at all from City. We've been the better team. I think probably that's why most people watch, Callum. They like to see people suffering. That's probably why people watch. And we've got the momentum back. I wonder if I should up the passing directness, because they don't know each other, and if we pass it more direct, then we're not trying to pass the ball around. Kanate! Is he offside, though? Is he offside? He looked onside to me. Come on, FM. Yes, he looked onside to me. Kanate makes it 1-0. We don't have to be afraid of City. Lovely pass. And Kanate. And Guehi with the assist might explain why he had such a bad game last time, because he was on the wrong side. And wasn't playing as the cover defender. So it might explain why he had a bad game. Hi Simon, how you doing? So I think we were unlucky in the Community Shield against City. Let's get a good start, boys. I think I should hard tackle Jeremy as well, because he probably didn't like that tackle earlier. The amount of possession, though, we've had is shocking. Should I go more direct, because we're not going to get possession? I'm going to focus play it up through the middle. Should I go more direct because we're not passing very well, or should I lower the tempo? I'm not quite sure what to do here. I'm going to do neither at the moment. And just think about it until half time. I'm trying to think of what the goal was. It was a long pass. And he's not playing well again. He's going to have one of those seasons, isn't he? Like this world-class forward who can't do anything. FM does this all the time. Doesn't matter how... I could buy Haaland and he would be absolutely rubbish in his first season. Just kind of does this all the time. Come on, pressurize them. That's better. Gotta press them, boys. Go on, Canate. Penalty, ref? No, he's giving it offside. 1-0 at the moment. Well, I'll take a 1-0. And we've totally destroyed City. They've hardly been in the game. Chance! 2-0! And the VAR awarded it before they'd even had a look. That was Florian Wirtz. It's 2-0. And no fears about playing City anymore. And it's nice to see Wirtz having a couple of good games. It's been nice to see Kamalo have a very good game. These players who didn't play very well last year, suddenly playing extremely well. Wirtz was awful, if you remember last season. An 8-year contract. And that was some finish as well. No messing with that. That's showing the player that his attributes show that he is. I wonder what's wrong with his passing. Go on, let's have another one. Help yourself, boy. I know we're playing with this, with work into the box off, and that's not just about long shots. I just don't want them taking too many touches in the penalty area. I just like to back themselves and just have a shot. We've got good forwards. Back yourselves, have a shot. And that's the reason for not having worked the ball into the box on. Newcastle are match fixing. They are in FM, Andy, not in real life, though. There's been a lot of those glitches recently, Callum. It's like the goal, like I've had goals awarded before they've even been scored. I think we've seen that before. There's been a lot of those glitches, and I wonder if FM are experimenting again, and they do, I'm convinced, download files just because they experiment, and that's not very nice. I've paid for the game. I don't want them experimenting on it. And so if they are, they need to stop. So I've seen a lot of glitches like that in the last couple of months. Suggests to me, oh, he's off the line. I thought he was going to get his first goal there, but he still hasn't got his first goal. We've had 12 attempts. City have created nothing. Although we've had very little possession. I need to get a little bit more possession, because I don't think... but I'm going to say we're doing well getting shots away. But somehow I've got to work this possession thing out. And I think I'm going to increase the passing directness, because it was a long pass that led to the first goal. Second goal was just a set piece. So I think I'm going to increase the passing directness. Nobody's having a bad game, so we don't need to talk to anybody individually. And it's nice to see a team like City, for a change, not having a single attempt on goal against you. You know you've done a good job then. Usually you are getting smashed when you start playing FM. You are getting smashed by City. We've turned the tables. It's taken 9 seasons. We've turned the tables. We are 2-0 up. And that means that we are sitting pretty near the top of the table. We just want to make sure we don't let them back into this. Go on, take the ball off him. Nicely done, Tonali. And it was the right decision not to play Peterson and not to play Carlo Carioca. I think it's a strange name, Carioca. Because they're very new to the club. Go on, Kamalo. Go on, son. Lovely cross. Must be 3. It is 3, and Gray is off the mark. Kamalo, what a player. Look how small he is in comparison to the rest of the team. Oh, please, that was a brilliant goal. It's awarded. Absolutely brilliant play by Kamalo. Lovely cross. And finally Gray has got himself a goal. And City are done. Too good for the City defence. Ha ha, Haaland. I bet you wish you were doing that at the other end, don't you? But ha ha. Oh, it's always nice when you're winning, isn't it? There's no suffering yet today. City still haven't had a shot. We haven't got as many on target as I would like. But I'm not going to tell them to work it into the box when it's working this well. It's just encouraging them to have a shot. They're good players now, so they should back themselves. I just worry about the passing, and we're wondering why we're not passing well enough. We're a good passing team, and it might be that's because they're not used to playing with each other. It's showing in the passing stats. This is what I don't want, is to let them back into the game now. Foden has come on, has he? So we need to type Mark Foden. Oh, he was always on, was he? Who's this guy, geezer? I think we'll hard tackle him. And right foot. Super subs are not allowed. Go on, go on, go on. Nicely done. One of the things I would like to see in FM25 is handball. Handball does not exist in FM. And I'd like to see some handballs in FM25 if they could somehow work that into the game. That's a foul on Kamalo. Has he got injured? Or is he going to be alright? Time for him to come off anyway. Yeah, book him. It's like my son. Book him. Go on, you're going to be alright. Get up, you twit. We'll take you off in a minute anyway. You've done your bit. A lovely cross. And you've had 2 green ratings in the first 2 games. That's what I want from you. What's this? Oh, another. What happened there? Offside? I think it might be time to take Kamalo off now. I'm going to come off the press as well. Let's come off the press. We don't need to press them now. Too hard. And then we'll make some changes now as well. So we are... Oh, boys, if you are in the chat and you haven't hit the like button yet, do us a favour, hit the like button. It does help the channel and doesn't take you a second. And helping us out would be absolutely fabulous. If you could hit that like button, it'd be awesome. Help the channel to grow. I only need about, I think it's about 88 now to get to 8k. Somewhere I never thought that I would get. Never thought that. I think before we get somebody sent off, where he could probably come off. And Frimpong Peterson can come on for Frimpong. Well, the Frimpong is having another good game out there. Oh, no, he's got himself hurt, does he? So Frimpong is definitely coming off anyway, because he's got himself hurt. Wingbacks. It's always wingbacks. And I think I'm going to bring on Yoro for Guehi. Botman has also got himself a yellow card. Well, it doesn't exist, Andy, in FM. Handball just doesn't exist. And all these front boys are playing really well. Kamalo, though, does need to come off. And Veloso can come on there, and we'll just do that for now. I'm coming off the counter press because they're looking tired. And at 3-0 up, even if they get one back, I don't think they're going to get 3 in the last 20 minutes. I'll be very surprised if they do. The more direct passing has been a bit more effective in the second half. Go on, Gray. Go on, son. Go on, have a shot. There it is. 4-0. Oh, 4-0. Well, yeah, Andy, we might get to see some Maradona stuff. But have you ever seen a handball in FM? I don't think I've ever seen a handball. And that is part of football, so they should work it in somehow. I don't know how they do it. But not all penalties are fouls in the penalty area. Some are for handball. 4-0 up against City. Well, this is a very good team now. It's a very, very strong team. I think Andy has put together, not this Andy Kitch has put together a very strong squad. He's lacking in some areas, and we do have holes to fill. But if we make a couple more sales and a bit more money, I think you beat them 2-1, Andy. I was looking at the results earlier. I think it was 2-1 because I looked at it and thought, oh, that gives me hope. I think it was 2-1. I noticed you had a couple of 7-0s in there, which is always nice. And Verts probably could do with the rest. So let's swap those over. And Tonali. Landerson can come on for Tonali. And that should do it. And let's just check the opposition. Let's see. Rodri, Gavi, Foden, Haaland. So he's not very much into tight marking. Haaland 6.5, Foden 6.3. You don't see this very often. Stephen Roberts, he's a good player. I want to buy him. So I'm going to tight mark him as well. I want to buy Stephen Roberts. He's a very good player in FM. Good evening, Blues. Yeah, 4-0 is absolutely insane. Particularly as they've still got Foden and Haaland. They've got Gavi in their team. They're not a bad team. Rodri, they're getting old, I guess, which is affecting, obviously, their performance. But they're still very, very good players. So it is an indication that we should be top 4 material this season. There's still a little bit of work to do in the transfer window. But we've strengthened where I wanted to up top. So now I've got plenty up top. I want to bring in Antonio Silva. If I can bring him in, it'll be a brilliant signing. Go on, Peterson. Let's make it 5. Let's bury City. Chance. What a chance. Go on. this is telling the rest of the Premier League. Newcastle are here. 4-0 is an unbelievable result. They've got Haaland in defence now. They're so worried about our attacking prowess. Go on, let's get another one. Let's bury City 5-0. Come on. 5-0 always sounds better than 4-0, doesn't it? 5-0. City will not like that. Offside, son. You didn't move. You've got to move. And so that's it then. We're going to beat City quite comfortably in the end. They've had one shot all game. One shot they've had. I'm surprised as this is FM, it didn't go in though. Because you normally, when you're beating a team this easily, their one shot goes in. But you couldn't complain against City because they do have Haaland up front. Against the likes of Ipswich, you could probably put together an argument for complaining. But we've put them away. Go on again. Go on. Another one. It's 5-0. Oh, boy. No, he's not offside. That's a perfectly good goal. Yes, it's given. We're up 5-0 up against City. And Veloso this time. Yeah, handball. It looked like a Maradona moment. Oh boy. Have we put together here a team that could possibly win things this year? We did win the FA Cup last year with what wasn't a very good team. And despite having people like Isaac and Mwani, they were not the greatest strike force in the land. Despite them both being 4-star players. Both aging. I think the right thing to do to target them as get rid of them. Because they're old now. Are they going to get one back here? No. We've managed to snuff out that. Go on, make it 6. Let's get greedy. Go on, make it 6. Chance for more. He's hit the post. Oh boy. City absolutely murdered. Humiliated. Absolutely humiliated. 2 forwards are very tired. Neves has given everything, and Arwell Davis. But City's passing looks worse than ours. It was a good move. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with the passing. Do I need to slow it down, or should I go more direct? In the end, I think I've made... Haaland, that's miles wide. In the end, I think I made the right decision to go more direct. Just up it a notch. We still haven't had possession, but our passing has been finding its targets better. And I think also, because we are running at them, we're losing possession. I think that's probably why the possession stats are like they are. If I slowed it down and said dribble less, we'd probably get a lot more possession, but we wouldn't be as attacking. But at the moment, we should be attacking. Because if City can't live with us, then the rest of the league is fretting. Scoring 5 against this team is unbelievable. Especially as Gavi is an extremely good player. They've signed a very good player there. I wanted him myself. Go on, make it 6. Make it 6. Let's really rub their noses in it. Neves! Absolutely, Callum. City absolutely destroyed. Humiliated. Absolutely torn apart. They've just had no answer for us today. That's not to say that we will beat them 5-0 every time. They've obviously had a very poor day. But we stood up to them today. We didn't back off them today. We stood up to them and told them we're going to give you a game. And we have possibly a very, very good strike force now. Yeah, I think Simon, he could be facing the chop here. The humiliation of this defeat. It's all over. We've beaten them 5-0. I don't believe it. I'm sure you guys don't believe it either. Ah, boy. That's about as comprehensive as it gets. Let's not just say that was a good win. We have blown them away. 2 games gone, 6 points in the bag, and we just don't want to get complacent now. Because the next game is against Southampton. And that is a game that we could easily lose. Although Southampton are doing well, they've won 1 of their games. Frimpong injured for only 1 to 2 days. Guardiola disappointed at humbling defeat. And Gray has got himself a couple of goals. Oh, there's so many good players. This boy, left back, not as good as possibly the potential says he is, but what a good player. Boselli, he's a good centre-back. 16 tackling, 14 marking. Good in the air. He's only 6 foot, but he's very good in the air. Bags of pace. That would mean we've got another good 14.5 million, I think. He's someone we've got to be looking at. If we compare him to with he's not listed. Compare him with the one that I've got my eye on at the moment, who is Antonio Silva. Can I compare him? Corvera, Arwell Davis, Botman, Lucian Stampede. No, not going to be able to compare those two. But he's just a bit taller, better in the air, better marking and tackling, and his mentals are slightly better, but he's older than the other guy. He's older than Boselli. Oh no, they're the same age. But he's cheaper. Good player though. I think I have added him to the short list. We'll just keep an eye on both. He probably resigned. He didn't seem like he was resigning in his interviews, just humbled. I do want to rotate the team at this point, so Peterson can get his long-awaited his long-awaited debut from the start. Frimpong is injured, so Moreno can come in for Frimpong. I think I will play Doig. I still don't have Abba back. Oh, he could be fit in time. So Jesus Abba can come in for Botman. And Yoro and Anderson. Now we'll leave Neves. Neves is quite an important part of this attack setup. And then Veloso for Wirtz. Wirtz for Kamalo. Gray and Kanate. Actually, I might give Suwane a game. Let's give him a game. Southampton, I want to rotate against them. Carloca can come on the bench. Guevara can now play. He can come on the bench. Arwell Davis, Tonali, Landerson, Mora, Abras. So let's bring Guevara on for Tonali. I might change that. The big question is, do you continue like most of managers in the first 3 games before the international break? They will play the same team. So what do you think, guys? Rotate because of the fear of complacency? I mean, look at that, 5-0 against City. Or keep the same team, but just make 1 or 2 small changes. Now, I've got to attend this because I've got to make him feel better. Oh, he's absolutely brilliant. How important. I believe he can make a massive... Yeah, I certainly hope so. A positive impact on the... Does this leave you with too many options in midfield? I'm not going to talk about my squad to you. I hope they can work together. Do you think there could be something of a generation gap? What are you talking about? They are young players. Bring a fresh perspective. Do you think in Newcastle history, sky's the limit? How do you think? We know what he does. Can he be able to settle in quickly? We're all here to give him the warmest of welcomes, and he feels very happy. So, hopefully that's a job done. You think we should play the same team, Andy, and not worry about complacency? 75. Oh, this is a loan offer. I'm not willing to loan him. I want money in. I want some cash. I think what I need to do is just make sure people know that he's unavailable for loan. Transfer status is transfer listed. 38 million. He's a bargain. And he will help me bring in one of those 2 very good centre-backs. Maybe we should do the same team. But I always worry playing against teams like Southampton. I would actually let him go. He's got no future at the club. Jesus Abbas, he's going to be fit, I think. But maybe he should be. Chelsea have made an offer. 28 million for Muani. 32 years old. He's worth 49. Let's see if I can bump him up a little bit. 35 million. Chelsea have accepted that. I'll go for 35 million. He's doing nothing for me. I don't want any more attacking midfielders or wingers. I want a central defender now. And I don't want to lose Botman. He's a big part of my plans. We'll have to, but we won't keep anyone here against their will. Time is running out to be sold. I don't want to sell you. I don't know what, I wish he was here. I wish Andy K was here, because I don't know what he did with Botman that he's got such a strop on. Now I can change it. No, I can't. It's like, if we sell him, I'm going to be in trouble. Doig, I don't want Doig to go. There's nothing I can do about Botman, and if he goes, I'm going to be lacking centre-backs. I might have to bring the two of those centre-backs in if he gets sold. If he doesn't get sold, he's obviously going to be upset with me. Not much I can do. I can't win on that one. Let's go back and reset this team then. Kumalo. I think that most managers would play the same team, especially if it's a winning team. Florian Wirtz. Problem is, yeah, Wirtz. So maybe we'll play Wirtz instead of Kumalo. I think Jesus Abba should play. He needs to get his fitness up. This is a good game to get his fitness up. And it does rest Botman. We'll bring back Tonali. Then Yoro can come onto the bench. So we have Landerson and Yoro can play as the DMs off the bench. Mora, Carioca, he can go on the bench. And so on. And give Kumalo a day off. I think that probably does it. It's one or two changes, not too many. And bringing Wirtz in for Kumalo. I think that Veloso is a much better player than Kumalo. So probably won't do any harm. So we're going to go into this game against Southampton. I don't think we've got anything really to worry about Southampton. I do want to have a quick look at the scout report. Just one or two little things. We're going to have a look at... Oh, there's nothing. They've got nothing. No pace. Nothing. This is a big worry for me. So I'm going to go with a much higher line. And we're really going to go for the jugular on this one. We need to attack here and get a result. They've really got nothing going for them. But they do play wing style. That's a big worry. So what we'll do is I am going to drop the line back, as I don't want them threading balls behind us. And yeah, we do want to really press them hard. And this time I'm going to work the ball into the box. We'll take those away. Work the ball into the box. Playing fairly wide might not be the answer. Let's go narrower. I think that should do it. If that's the team that beat City 5-0, you've got to be optimistic against Southampton. But FM doesn't actually play like that. FM is a strange game. Abugwehi, Arwell Davis. Oh, so maybe we do need to swap the fullbacks. Arwell Davis and Verts, and he wants Karaoke to play, but I don't. Gray, Verts. No, I don't want him to play. He can play off the bench early on, but I don't want to put him in too soon. He is a good player. There's no doubt about it. He's a first team player. And he's a bargain at 16 mil. Absolute bargain. But Gray is in form. Konate has scored goals. I'm not going to criticise Botman. And they're too high to criticise, to risk criticising at the moment. So I'm not going to do any criticising of the boys at the moment. Expectations. Both the board and the supporters expect us to win. I would expect us to win too. But FM doesn't always. Who's this geezer? Data analyst. Steve Botman is expecting to leave. Well, Hugo Larsson just told me that he's happy to stay at Newcastle because Man United are not interested anymore. These are little things about the game that just don't add up sometimes. So let's go and play against Southampton. We need to win this, boys. Yeah, more direct passing. When we did switch our passing up a little bit, we did play better. So I'm not unhappy at all with that instruction. Konate is in fine form. I don't need to swap him out. He's in fine form. So let's go and play against Southampton. Let's win this game. Let's finish on a high. Definitely pick up where you left off last time. Not quite sure. Yeah, we are the away team. I might be a little bit too aggressive in terms of an attacking mentality, but we have to attack Southampton. Looking at their scout report, there's nothing positive to talk about in their team. So we have to attack them. At least early on, until I start to notice they're threading those balls behind us. But here comes Southampton. And there's a little ball in behind us. Interesting, isn't it? Wing play is horrible. Doesn't matter who you're playing, wing play is horrible. So let's tell him to close down less. And this one. Close down less. It's really horrible wing play, and it doesn't matter how bad they are. they will always get in behind you. Which is why one of the reasons why I dropped the line back. But I think we are too attacking. We've got to not get so many bodies going forward. And there's the goal, is it? Oh! I wonder if I should go to a balanced mentality, because we're just going to be throwing too many bodies forward. It's all like beating Manchester City 5-0 and then suddenly this happens. It's really weird about FM. Go on, son. Go on. Let's get the first goal. Oh, what a chance, Canate. Offside anyway. We have not been the best team in this game. My record against playing these guys, teams like this, is appalling. I just don't get it. Let's go to the assistant. And let's see what he makes of this team. That's to... I need to figure out... I think I'm going to tight mark both these midfielders. Generally, the passing does come from those two midfielders to the wingers. But I might even go back to a more balanced way of playing to like try to figure out how we're going to beat these guys, because they are all over us. And I might have to just slow everything down as well. They're absolutely all over us. They're not particularly pressing us. I'm going to demand more. Probably the wrong decision to play the same team. I had a funny feeling I should rotate and give other people a game in this one. And I'm being punished by FM for not doing that. Again, there's that ball. But Jesus, Abba is going to be hard to get past. This is like quite bizarre, isn't it? Like we totally blew Manchester City away. But Southampton, almost impossible to beat. This is quite bizarre. Oh, first time I've seen an overhead kick like that. Almost went in. I wanted to train Kamalo to do that, but my assistant said, nah, he's got everything he needs. Look, they are absolutely pasting us. I'm going to slow everything down. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to lose this game. I am going to try and not lose this game. So we're going to go into a low block. I just don't want to lose. And at the moment we are losing. And I can't understand why. So slow everything down now. Try and keep possession. And just defend deep. Get numbers behind the ball. There's a game I just don't want to lose now. And we were losing it. We haven't actually had a shot yet. Handball. That looked like a handball to me. That definitely looked like a handball. But we got ourselves back in the game. Going into the low block seems to have got ourselves back into the game. Match momentum is with us now. Just an idea just to slow everything down. Take stock. Keep possession. Let's see what happens now. Get numbers behind the ball. And that's another corner. We'll say we're back in the game now. As the game goes on, we can start increasing things a little bit. At the moment, I'll take a 1-0 here. Another FM test. That's all this is. It's just a test. So, like, sometimes I think it has got absolutely nothing to do with the team you're playing this. It's just a test they give you. Can you solve the puzzle? But it looks like we're back in the game now. We might have solved the puzzle. Southampton actually haven't done anything since I swapped it into the low block. But we haven't had a single shot yet. This is the same team that destroyed Manchester City 5-0. And I've had to go defensive against Southampton. Unbelievable. So I'm going to berate them. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I don't know if those work, but it's made me feel better. The team needed berating. It's made me feel better. Come on, boys. You're not playing Brazil here. You're playing Southampton. And you just destroyed Manchester City. And Everton. Oh, FM, you and your tests. Right, come on. How come they've got all this? We've got possession now. Just. They need a right rollicking at half-time. Even if they're 1-0 up, they're having a rollicking. They haven't created a chance yet. Have not created a chance. Oh, it's Wirtz and Veloso are having terrible games. Kamalo should have stayed in the team. The two up front are dreadful. Arwell Davis is playing like he's never played football before. Can't put a pass together. What do we need to do? Like I said, I'm just playing this at the moment to not lose. Try and get some dominance in the game. And then we'll launch some attacks later. See, Wirtz totally nonsense. Everybody totally nonsense. It's the wrong team. I should have rotated. I did have a funny feeling, didn't I? Should have rotated. Nobody's causing us any problems. But we are not causing them any problems either. Come on, somebody do something. Again. Right, let's tell them to dribble less, because you're losing the ball all the time. And be more disciplined. Follow the instructions. And now I am going to actually tell them to work the ball into the box, because we're not creating anything. We are working the ball into the box. Just not creating anything. It's not yeah, it's a test that FM gives you. Yes! Yes! And like that's why I went into the low block, because I thought we're going to get beaten. If we continue doing this, we are going to get beaten. And when I went into the low block, we started playing better. And we finally broken them. But look at the ratings. They're just appalling. But finally we have broken them. But Chelsea have gone above us, have they? How did that happen? Chelsea must have scored some goals then. How did 2-0 up? No, we're back on top. We're back on top. Now, what do I tell them in the dressing room? Things are going well. No, they're not. I'm going to tell you, I'm not happy with your performance. Yeah, quite right. They have responded to that. I'm not happy. Look at these. They're slightly better than they were. Let's give them 15 minutes more. Like, tell them, you've got 15 minutes, buddy. They've got better. Our Will Davis is having a shocker. So tell him, you've got 15 minutes to prove yourself. You've not been good enough. Get your act together. And I need to get rid of that now, don't I? So that was not making me happy, but the low block has got me out of a hole there. It's like that's just a typical FM test. And if I'd continued playing that way, we would have got hammered. But just by deciding like I'm not going to lose this game, then we've taken the lead. Not quite sure how, but we're not in control at all. So I'm not going to change it at the moment because we're not gaining control back. Get another goal, I might change it. But we are definitely not in control. And it might be I need to make some substitutions up top. Wirtz and Valesso are playing well again, but these two boys up top are having poor games. And I've also want to make sure that Abba is okay, that he can last the 90 minutes. Peterson is already getting tired. So I might have to just stick with those two up front. Canote probably can come off. But this is like the weirdest thing. This is Southampton. And we can't create any chances. But that's because we're not trying to at the moment because I've got them imbalanced. But at the moment we're not losing. So I don't want... Look at this Canote. Kamalo's not even on the bench, is he? So Suone can come on. Winner takes it all. Tonali's playing well. Neves is having a poor game. So Landerson can come on for Neves. Will Davis has improved, but he's tired. So maybe it's time to play Doig. And also let's switch the other. Although Peterson's playing quite well, let's leave him on. And let's go with that. I think what I'm going to do is, yeah, we're not on the counter press now because we're in this low block. So even they might even be showing signs of early season tiredness. Wirtz is tired now. Wirtz and Peterson. Let's shout at them, demand more. But yeah, you've got to pass these tests every so often in FM. You've got to pass these tests or you lose. And we hopefully have passed this test. Oh, who was that? Landerson. Good tackle. Right, okay, let's make these other two changes. Wirtz and Peterson. Mora can come on for Wirtz. No, let's bring Karaoke on. Karaoke. And Peterson Moreno can come on for Peterson. Now, come on, boys. I gotta watch the match momentum, because if they start coming back into this, the match momentum is with us at the moment. Nobody really has been a problem in that Southampton team, and we've been our own problem. Is it incomprehensive? Yeah, it is. There's just no highlights. I just want that second goal, and then I'll feel a bit happier. And I'm thinking, we have the match momentum. Should I go more positive now? Stay in the low block, but just go positive? Or just hang on to this one goal? And I don't really want to do anything at this point, which might upset the balance of the as it is at the moment. But I suspect they are dangerous still. I'm going to go to my assistant and ask him. But he's not changing anything. But I do want those two marked. And Dingwall, I'm going to type mark as well. Now, they are very tired as well. They're much more tired than we are. But it doesn't seem to matter in FM how tired the opposition are. Because they'll still be running around like 2-year-olds. Whereas it does seem to matter if your players are tired. Tonali is tired. What am I doing? So I need to tell him to ease off the tackles. Yeah, he's doing all that anyway. Close down less often. Do a little bit less work. I'm not quite sure if I should do anything or not. Am I still being tested here, or have you let me pass this test? We've got the game. This is not the same team that beat Manchester City 5-0. Like grinding out this result. I kind of felt it was possible. And I didn't mention it before the game started. These are games you can easily lose. You only beat them 1-0 as well. Perhaps they are the Brazilian reserve team, Andy. But this was tough. Go on, Swan. Go on, son. Little cross into the box. Yeah, greedy. You should have had a little cross into the 6-yard box. We had men in there. Swan's not covering himself in glory at the moment. He's come off the bench twice and not paid particularly well. But he's young. Go on, Moreno. Go on, son. Somebody do something. Nice pass into the box. Go on, Swan. That's it. Let it run out. I'm actually seriously considering, really slowing this down now. Let's time waste. 88 minutes. Play out of defence. Go narrow. We don't need to do anything. I'm going to regroup as well. Just in case they come at us on the counter-attack. We're going to regroup. We're just going to try and hold on to this 1-0. Oh, what a good test that was, FM. I like it. It's a strange game, isn't it? A very strange game. But I was always concerned, should I rotate? Let's go defensive now to see out the last few minutes. Let's just hold on. 1-0 is good enough. 1-0 is fine. Let's go defensive. Let's not attack too often. Southampton have got to breach our defence, haven't they? Go on, son. You can still get another one. Not like that, we can't. Oh, that's what I was worried about, this counter-attack. That's why I went defensive. Is there a late goal here? Lovely tackle, Guehi. Come on, let's keep our shape. Nicely done. It's done. Oh, what a test that was. We have come through it with the help of the low block and beaten Southampton. I got a funny feeling that was a game that, had we not done anything, that was a game that we could lose. I'm actually going to say well done, lads, because they listened and we changed things up when we got the result. So that's a good result, I think. They have to play Chelsea next, do we? That's an interesting game coming up for the next episode. Chelsea are our next opponent. And there you go. We have started the season. Carioca, how did he get on? 6.6. And Suone set for a pay increase. Not after that. Not after that. And so we have won our first 3 games in the Premier League. If we look at the season preview, I think now we're up to 2nd, and that's probably because we've just signed Carioca. We've beaten the favourites 5-0. You've got to be looking at getting into the Champions League this season. Has to be. And winning it next season. I'm thinking. You've got to think that. This is now a very, very good squad. And if we can make 1 centre-back signing here, I'll be happy with. 2, I'll be over the moon. Thanks for coming, guys. It's been a good stream. I've enjoyed it. We've won our opening 3 fixtures. We've scored 10 goals and only conceded 1. It's been a very, very good start. So let's hope that we can continue as we go on to play more difficult teams than Southampton. And we shall see you. I don't even know what day it is today. I think it's Sunday. We shall see you on Tuesday when we'll be back with another installment. And I'd like to see this winning run continue. I can't see any reason why it shouldn't. We've got some nice games coming up. We will fear no one except Southampton. And that 5-0 against City was unbelievable. Not incredible. It's just totally unbelievable. But we did it. And in style. Thanks for coming, boys. I'm going to go and have a nice pasty now. And possibly even a Scotch egg. And I shall see you soon. Stay safe. Take care. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good one.